From the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia, this is Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis. Inside West Virginia Politics is brought to you by AARP West Virginia, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside West Virginia Politics. My co-host Adrian Robbins will join us shortly, but we are previewing the legislative session that is opening in just a matter of days here in West Virginia. Joining me now is Tom Hunter. He is with the AARP of West Virginia, an organization which is very active at the Capitol and also sponsors this program, which we very much appreciate.
Well, we appreciate it. We're glad to be involved with Inside West Virginia Politics.
Well, this is going to be another big session, 60 days of mayhem. And what you guys are always advocating for different things. What are you looking for this year from the legislative session?
Well, we're always looking at those issues that really impact 50-plus West Virginians and their families. Caregiving, a huge issue in this state. Nearly 300,000 family caregivers across the state providing unpaid care for loved ones in the home where they want to be and want to remain. We want to do everything we can to make that lift as easy on family caregivers and on those receiving the care as we possibly can. We're constantly looking at ways that we can improve and support services and supports to assist family caregivers. That's an issue we'll be looking at this session. Obviously, fraud continues and elder abuse continues to be a huge issue across the state. The bad guys are really good at what they do. So when we go to the legislature and close a loophole and give prosecutors more tools in their toolbox to take these criminals into court and be able to prosecute these crimes, they find new avenues to take advantage and to exploit. So we're always working closely with the West Virginia Financial Exploitation Task Force, of which AARP is a co-founder. That group has been working around these issues at the legislature for more than a decade. We'll be looking at those issues as well.
Before we go any further, where's a website people can go to get information about AARP, and in particular the West Virginia chapter, and what you folks are doing?
Sure, they can follow real time what we're doing in the halls of the Capitol and everything that we're doing across the state through Facebook at AARP West Virginia, on Twitter at AARPWV, or on our website aarp.org/WV.
You guys have probably the most visual presence at the Capitol. The men and ladies that volunteer for AARP and do some of the lobbying all wear the red coats. You're unmistakable. You look like you've got a small army down there. Is it going to be the same again this year?
Yeah, we can't do what we do from a state advocacy standpoint without that volunteer involvement. The volunteers we have are incredible. They maintain a very active presence, as you mentioned, at the state Capitol. It used to be people knew when AARP Lobby Day was at the Capitol because they would see the red coats that one day. Now they see them every day. So and we can't do that without 30-plus dedicated volunteers who give up their time to come from communities all across the state and meet and engage with lawmakers and make sure that they understand and get a first-person perspective on what the issues are that are important to 50-plus West Virginians.
They're a fun bunch of folks. So if you're at the Capitol and you see the red coats, go up and talk to them. They're very chatty and they're very warm and welcoming. You know, I was surprised when you told me that you guys are big advocates for broadband improvement in the state. Certainly internet access and cell phone access affects us all, but I didn't realize the importance of telehealth now in terms of broadband and the connectivity for people's health care.
Yeah, particularly with an emphasis on rural health. We want that patient in Clay County or in Roane County or in Webster County to have that access to meet with a specialist in Morgantown and not have to leave the confines of their home community to do that. We can't do that without adequate broadband infrastructure in these counties, and I laud the commitment of Senators Manchin and Senator Capito, who have really dug in and brought the FCC to the table here in West Virginia to get a more unique understanding and perspective of the real challenges that we face in making broadband enhancement a reality here in West Virginia. I laud the leadership of Speaker Hanshaw and of Senate President Carmichael. The legislature has taken a hold of this issue. They've come back year after year after year, continue to address and invest in the things that we need to do to take those major steps forward. And obviously an alliance of partners as well, like West Virginia Forward and the Alliance for Economic Development in Southern West Virginia, bringing higher ed partners in and public-private partnership into the fold on this issue. We're very engaged on this. We're very supportive of it. We need to continue to move that ball forward.
It's interesting. I was at WVU Medicine for Children's Hospital for the Mediathon, the big fundraiser we broadcast this year, and they were telling me how important it is for the little kids, the babies, to have telehealth because a lot of their vitals can be transmitted from home to the hospital just as they can for seniors. So, and I'm a person that participates in telehealth as well, and it's great that my vitals go every day to not only my doctor, the hospital, and the insurance company.
Just as we want to give give older patients that opportunity to meet with a specialist. We want to give that pediatric cancer patient who might be in Pocahontas County an opportunity to meet real time with an oncology expert and specialist to continue to monitor that situation and monitor that child's health so we can get them healthy and cancer free again. And we can't do that without the promise of telehealth and telemedicine.
All right. We want to thank Tom Hunter from the AARP West Virginia chapter. We'll have you back on during the session.
We appreciate it.
We're going to see a lot of you down there. And thank you for your sponsorship again of Inside West Virginia Politics. We'll have more after this break. Stay with us.